Hey guys, so today I have to run some errands and stuff, so I was going to do my makeup, and I want to do a makeup look that has no lashes. Yesterday I tried a different skin, I don't even want to call it a technique because it's not necessarily a technique whatsoever, but I used hardly any face products because when I look at my skin, I'm kind of targeting certain areas, and I can see any little coverage here, little around with the spider veins on my nose, and obviously I have a couple of blemishes down here. But the majority of my face really doesn't need much, so I really took that and I tried something a little bit different, and I loved the way that I felt yesterday. I also didn't wear lashes, and especially for like a really easy day where you're just running out the door, you have some errands to run, this is kind of what I do. Now I've done this video before. I'm gonna do a little bit more on the eyes than I have been doing, which lately I've literally just been wearing mascara. But I wanted to actually show you guys this mascara on camera because I've talked about it in like the last maybe 4 videos. It's the Butter London Double Decker Lashes Mascara. I think I got it in a BoxyCharm. I may be wrong there, but at first I was like, it's a mascara, it's a mascara, it's a mascara. But when I tried this one specifically, I love the way it makes my lashes look. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna show you guys how that one works. I actually don't know the last time I've done a look on my channel without lashes, which is so weird. So anyway, subscribe if you guys have not yet. I put up new videos as often as I can. Right now, about 2 days a week, Monday, Thursday, Monday, Friday. Normally Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we're a little different right now. Also, you guys can follow me on all my other social stuff if you want to keep up with me. I've been talking a lot. I always do lots of Instagram stories, so it's sort of like a little mini vlog there on Instagram. So if you guys are interested in, seeing some behind the scenes stuff, seeing my kitties, I talk about happy stuff, sad stuff, I show funny stuff. If you maybe missed something because you weren't following or you're interested, check my highlights because I'm very highlight updatey. Anyway, that was a long intro to say, let's put makeup on. A lot of people have been asking me if I am, they were like, you seem off, you don't seem like you're on your A game. I'm not on my A game. I've talked about this a few times, but I am definitely going through a rough time with my mental health. I'm trying to push past it as best I can. I'm trying to like stay upbeat, and honestly, I feel like what's helping, and Zach and I were talking about this last night, is I was like watching a video and it was really negative, and like on YouTube of somebody that I watched, and it was like such a negative video, and it was like a negative review or something like that, and Zach was like, this is the kind of shit that's keeping you in your funk because you're watching negative things, you've got a lot going on, like my cat's dying right now, and I have a lot of like commitments and stuff like that. And then of course we found a leak in our house yesterday and a bunch of black mold. And so there's a lot of things going on. I am fine, but I just want you guys to know, for all you people commenting saying like, you seem down, you seem out of sorts. I am out of sorts. I'm trying to get through it. I am fine. I want you guys to know I'm just trying to work past it and continue filming and doing my best. So I think this is the palette that I want to try today. This is new, I believe, and this is the NYX Swear By It palette. And I think I'm gonna obviously go in with some neutrals because I am taking my cat to the vet today, so I don't want to like have, bright pink eyeshadow. I think I just want to test it out. I like the way this palette looks though. It's inspiring. I don't want too much color on my lids, so I chose the wrong color for that, that's for damn sure. I'm gonna go in with that kind of top lighter taupier color, just to kind of mix in. This is the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. Wearable, simple eye look. You don't need this Swear By It palette, that's for sure. You could use a bronzer, you could use any of this stuff. But I just wanted to test out the palette. I feel like these colors are blending really nicely. Don't have too much kick up or anything. NYX shadows are not like overly crazy pigmented, but they have a nice amount in them, and I feel like they do a good job. $45? Fucking kidding me? Please tell me that's not real. $35. Even still, how many shades is that? 40. Okay. $35. What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth it? And you get 40 shades, so that's less than $1 per shade. But gosh, that seems so high. Like I look at NYX as such a drugstore brand. 25 or 20, 28. I just see that as so spendy, but I mean, it's working well and you do get a ton of colors. So I think that's kind of one of those things where you have to balance out if it's worth it to you. It gets 5-star review out of 4 reviews on nyxcosmetics.com. So I don't know. I mean, it's a nice palette, but god damn. This is one of the shades. It's Blaze. This is the color Foil. These remind me very similarly of like the Tarte Chrome paints. I don't know if you guys have ever used those, but I put them in my yearly favorites video that I do. And the Tarte Chrome paints are such a cool formula. They're so unique. I also got to admit, I really love the name of these, Scattered Light. It's like, oh, it's beautiful. Aura, Smoke, and Reflect. Very soft to the touch. They feel similarly to the chrome paints, but almost a little bit softer to the touch, like a pressed pigment. They're really pretty. They've got a nice sheen to them. I'll show you guys swatched. So it starts here, Blaze, Foil, Aura, Smoke, and Reflect. Oh God, I really don't know which one to use. When I look at them, I think Reflect looks absolutely beautiful. So I think I'm gonna use that one and Blaze. These are obviously, I believe, best applied with your fingers, just patted on. Give a really pretty glittery effect. Okay, and I'm gonna try Reflect now. This one's really soft, like, so you can see it on your finger. It really gives a nice sheen. It's kind of not subtle. I hate to use the word subtle because it is really reflective, especially in person. Camera has a hard time picking stuff like this up always. And now I'm gonna do my lashes because I feel like this is all I wanna do on the eyes, just keep it really simple. But I'm going to show you guys the Butter London mascara now. Some days I do curl my eyelashes and some days I don't. I find that eyelash curlers sometimes like just kind of crimp my eyelashes and don't really curl it. Like especially this one, this is like the shittiest eyelash curler I've ever used. See this one? It doesn't curl the center hairs. They just stay straight where the rest of the edges and everything. And this is the mascara that I've been using. I just find that like of all the mascaras, I like a lot of different mascaras, but this one is the one lately that when I want my lashes to look full but separated and long, it's just what I've been going towards. I really like it. I don't know. I had it in my collection for a really long time and never really tried it and then finally gave it a go. This is what the wand looks like. It's kind of similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but not as dry, I don't feel. Just for me, I just feel like that makes my lashes look so good without needing freaking false lashes, because some days it's so annoying to throw on a pair of false lashes, I swear. This is the difference with and without mascara. I think a lot of the reasons that some mascaras I don't like is because they get too clumpy, because they're like almost too wet. My lashes stick together a little too much for me. If that's the case, I really like this thing from Furless Cosmetics. It's this brush here. This is from the It's Likely Makeup collab. And the metal side of this is really good at fanning out lashes and making them not like clump together. That's what I'm gonna do for the eyes today. Then I'm gonna show you guys what I did for my skin yesterday. So this is Dermacol, and I've talked about this, I believe, on my channel before, and I've seen so many people review this. This is like when you see them reviewing like world's most full coverage makeup, that's this here. So it is a very high pigment makeup. I got this from Amazon. When I bought it, it was like $14. I think now, because it was in high demand because of those videos, the price did skyrocket. But the cool thing about Dermacol, first of all, this is the shade 207. The cool thing about this is that because it is such high pigment, you need the tiniest amount. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like down here. And you can see these guys down here. So like, I'm not even pushing on the tube. That's just kind of what's sitting on the edge of the tube. And then I'm gonna use this BH Cosmetics 137 brush, which I just really like this for foundation. And because it has such high coverage, you don't need very much at all. It covers everything. And you can take this little amount that I just put down on my chin and really buff it into the skin so that those two tiny little dots I just put on my face will really work for such a large area. And it's a pretty close color match. Down here, I'm not pushing anything. That's just kind of the stuff sitting on the edge. When I was freelancing in 2017, this is what I was using on a lot of clients. If they had, you know, really red skin or a lot of acne, this is such a good product to cover the acne without adding too much thickness to it. Because if you use a foundation that's not as high coverage, you risk like making the skin a little, like, look at that, just the tiniest little amount really goes the longest way. Like that'll cover my entire forehead. sometimes you can, to get full coverage, you can use a little too much product and then it starts to look cakey. But for acne especially, this works really well. Like I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have spider veins on the side of my nose. I'm just gonna gently tap that on the tip of the Dermacol. And look, it just covers so much, but you can also really buff it into the skin. You see I have all this redness down here. I'm just gonna take what's on the tip of this, which is just a tiny little amount, run that on there, and then Dermacol has a really cool texture to it. Like for me, Dermacol feels like, I hate to use the word greasy. If you used a lot of it, you would look very dewy, slightly greasy, but like because of that, it buffs into the skin really nicely. It's nearly undetectable. It does not look like I'm wearing foundation at all because it really melts into the skin nicely. It's so weird for me to not use a beauty blender. You can use a beauty blender with this, but right now I'm just really into using a brush because it's so much faster for me. And you can still see just a bit of redness peek through because I'm not using a ton of this product. It's a little too light for me, by the way. I needed to go to the next shade. All right, and then I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. I'm gonna use the Hourglass Ambient Luminous Bronze Light Bronzer. I'm just gonna use a little bit of it. I'm using this mainly because it's what I've got sitting here, but I do love the way that this looks so much. And this is that Wet n Wild brush that I talked to you guys about in my last video. Just adding some color back into my face. I can't believe these are like real freckles. I can't believe I have those. It's like the weirdest thing to me. I've never had them in my whole life. Where the fucking shit did they come from? I'm just gonna use that Benefit product that I used in the last video. This is the Brow Contour Pro, and I'm using the kind of medium shade. I think I'm gonna use a little blush today, and I think I'm gonna go in with just this Jouer Rose Gold blush again, but just this side here. And for my lips, I'm gonna go in with the Glossier Gloss. I personally like to take the gloss a little outside of my lip just so it makes it look a little bigger. And I think today I'm gonna leave my hair straight. I've been curling my hair, but I just kind of like it like a natural. Who am I? Who am I? Being natural? I don't know. If you're just running out of the house, I like the skin with the Dermacol. Like I did not need very much at all. I mean, I barely used anything. You can tell it was at the very tip and you can see how much it's gone below the tip. That's it. That's all I used of the Dermacol. This tube, realistically, with how much I use, would last me my entire life. And it's not expensive. So if you guys are looking for a good option, I really do like this a lot. I think for like full coverage, you can't go much better because it's like 50% pigment versus like so many other foundations are like, I don't know what percentage of pigment they have. Like this is like half pigment. So you're getting so much in a tiny little amount. I feel like all things should be this way so you can use less because the lighter the coverage, usually the more you need to use. As you can tell, my skin doesn't look like cakey or anything. In fact, in so many areas, it doesn't even look like I'm wearing foundation, and I feel like the color matches relatively good. So I know this video may have been like a little any good for you to watch, but I love you so much and I thank you guys so much for watching and I appreciate you and I love you and I will see you at my next video. Bye. It is the Bunder London. Fuck. I'm gonna guys show you. How do I do that? Help. Getting into it. Subscribe if you guys have not yet. I'm gonna what was I supposed to be saying there? And I'll definitely Hey Siri, Google the NYX Swear By It palette.
Here's what I found on the web for the NYX Swear By It palette.
She literally spelled everything wrong.